Today is February 3rd, 2026. I get bypassed, tired of everything, and then stupidity on top of stupidity. And when people find out the laws and who's actually doing this, and then it's drug cartel, and then it's like, none of this is funny. Well, who found it funny in the first place? What's wrong with you? See, that's where the last week, in the middle of the night, I heard this lady was outside where I was working, and she was real out. She was mad. She said, I found out the doctor from before wasn't even a doctor. It was just some guy Dave hired on his own. April 6, 23, they already told you that. And it's just some guy Dave hired on his own. They said they think he's a drug dealer. Well, he's being raped. What happened in May 30th, 25, where they found the case that said her ex-husband hired two men on his own. One said he wasn't a attorney, so it made it legal. No, it didn't. What were they thinking? Drug cartel on a platter. Okay? So, he hired both those men. And they didn't say he was an attorney. They said he was an attorney. I doubt he's an attorney. Because the people doing this, where April 24th, or April 19th, 25, they were talking about investigators, how dumb these people are. You wouldn't believe how dumb they are. Well, attorneys have law degrees. They would know the right to privacy. They could not be in my home. They know that where there's a scam of the dirty doctor not being one of hers works for him, works for them, and they had lied. Of course they lied. It was HIPAA. The law states if an attorney goes fishing for information on you and they approach a hospital or doctor, that's a federal HIPAA violation. 5 years for the attorney, loss of license. If the hospital or doctor's office talks to him, it's 10 years loss of license. Both of them. If a doctor from one of the hospitals talked to him, 10 years for that. So it got 10, 10, 25 now. If they pull your medical records, you didn't sign consent, they didn't get a picture ID, you didn't sign a release picture ID, and they confirm it was you, that's stealing records. It's another 10. So for the dirty doctor scam, it's 35. Of course it wasn't a doctor. It's just some guy Dave hired, a drug dealer. That's where this person that's supposed to be saying they're an attorney, they have to be another drug dealer. The Henry Mauvie, the Bill from the Freemasons, that attorney will that impersonated an FBI agent will, the will that's supposed to pull off a scam here. The whole thing's a scam. How many times they say that? April 24th, 25. December 1st, 25. April 24th, 25. December 26th, 25. Whole thing's a scam. See, that's where, how stupid are you that you'd fall for this? No attorney can do this. And it's just like the law. If attorney sets up hiding cameras in your home, they are to be disbarred and criminally charged for voyeurism, cyberstalking, illegal monitoring. Goes into a sextortion scheme, voyeurism. They get listed sex offenders. They're scamming stupid fake sodium, pentothal reports, hypnotic drugs, and told to say stuff. Having them beat and raped under drugs, human trafficked. And you didn't think it was a drug dealer and a scam? Come on now. And I hate. Now, they already admitted since 18 they were drugging me and telling me to say stuff before. They worked for Dave. They photoshopped all their lives, 18 and 19. By 18 and 19, they were using the doctor that worked for the Florida drug cartel. By 19, that he had never met me in person. Michelle told March 27th, 25, April 17th, 25, December 1st, 25, that the doctor from before is not one of mine, works with them, and they had lied, and she doesn't know who he is. Well, it's HIPAA, honey. It's a federal crime. For each occurrence, 10 years. Loss of license. Get the idea. Get the idea. That's where, what was it, January 26, around that time, there was a Latino lady outside my apartment. Said the people that did this was not from this country. They didn't know our laws. They didn't know there was a law called HIPAA, that it's illegal for a doctor to tape you on air. It's illegal for a doctor to talk about you. It's illegal for them to give your medical records out. They didn't know. They didn't know there was a right to privacy over someone's home. Would a real attorney know that? Mm-hmm. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. So I want you to think, is it a real attorney? No, the whole thing's a scam. I bet the guy's not where, um, it came out that it was that weird Henry Moffey that got a hold of me on Instagram like the first month of case. Texted me he thought I was beautiful, and then something weird about love is something on a beach and da 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 da. And then people talked about him around me, and then he drove by. I never met him in person. Then January 1926 shows up at Fairlawn. How he was the one who got a hold of me online, and he tells everyone that I'm not good enough for another man. Fuck you. And that he's glad he never met me in person, and da 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 da. And he was the one inciting Carl's son Rick that he could steal everything for him. And heard he was vandalizing stuff down at Carl's farm, and told him to stay out of it. He was going to steal everything. And while the FBI was busy with Minnesota, he had a judge's friend. He was going to enter everything in court, and he was going to pull a fast one on him and steal everything from the case. He's a loon. Found out that fool was telling people he had an affair with me. Like he said, he never met me in person. He wanted got a pity date. Where they met in November 23rd, 25. This whole thing was just a scam to extort money from the government. My ex-husband was involved. December 1st, 25, Walmart 62, Michelle told on him. And they admitted to using hypnotic drugs when they drugged me and told me to say it before, and photoshopped a shower scene. Washing yourself in the shower in the other room to make me look weird. And that guy Pete that runs his mouth on me, I don't even know who he is. And Dave hired him on his own. Just some guy Dave hired. Hmm. And the doctor from before was not one of mine, works for them, and they had lied. She actually don't know who he is. And this whole thing is just a scam to extort money from the government. Okay. Walmart 62. Now, I want you to think about this. They're not from this country. I was talking to somebody out west online, and they said, was there Latinos involved? I said, quite a few at first. He said, well, it has to be one of the Mexican drug cartels doing it. The other cartels will not involve Latinos unless they're the ones running it. Okay? There was one guy that was arrested above Cleveland. Him and his girlfriend were harassing me, and they were M13. The guy with the eagle tattoo they were all looking for. Tall white guy with black hair. Eagle tattoos are M13. There was girls with dots around their eye. That is part of their gang tats. A lot of the Latinos said they were for Judge Peters, and they were from Florida. Or they were for Judge Peters, the human trafficker that got arrested. After that one M13 guy got arrested above Cleveland, there was a Latino guy that showed up at Walmart 62. I don't know who he is, but he scared a lot of them away harassing me. He said, I've been watching this online. He said, our people will not be involved in this. Well, one of their big guys got arrested. He said, me and my men will take care of them. They scattered. Remember that in 23? Officer Mark, he showed up at Walmart 62. Him and his men followed me for a while, and they disappeared. A lot of the Latinos harassing me. That, you should know who he is. Mm-hmm. See, Michelle was part of Judge Peters' group. Seen at Faith Family Church, 30,000 people were for Judge Peters, and was with the ones from Florida. The ones that said they were for Judge Peters and they were from Florida. She was with them. Dave's ex-girlfriend. Some of her friends on January 19th, 26, up in Fairlawn, they were laughing what I said about that Henry Moppy to Carl, that he's ugly as a horse's ass. He's got the small dick syndrome that he thinks he has to hurt people to prove his manhood. Well, men don't hurt people. They don't threaten them. They don't harm them. They don't have anything to prove. Take small men, where my son Danny said, you know what's wrong with Rick? He's a big man with a small dick, and that's why he threatens to harm people and harms people, because he thinks he has to prove his manhood by harming and threatening people. Real men don't have to threaten anybody. Okay? Well, they were laughing. They said they were saying Michelle said not to say anything. Oh my goodness, we heard what she said to the guy that was doing it to her. Or what she said about him, because I've never talked to him in person. The first time I seen him in a restaurant, he always just drove by. People talked about him. Never met him in person. Imagine being harmed by somebody you've never met. A predator. Scary shit, isn't it? And they said, we all know M13 was paying for everything. Well, that explains Rakasami. That would explain a lot. Okay? And where they said, if you put together with what people say, he has the will that was to pull off a scam here to join them. Where April 24th, 25, they were yelling at Summit Mall. You tell that guy Will that was to pull a scam off here to join us, that it's all wrong. Michelle told on him for the doctor from before not being one of hers works for them, and they had lied. Tell him we said take care of her. He has to be that Will guy. The attorney Will, Bill from the Freemasons big scam. The one that was in person, an FBI agent Will that nobody knew about. Him. Get the idea. It's him. He's some guy Dave hired. I don't know him. He wouldn't have got a pity date. Investigators are laughing. She really don't know what's going on. He was telling people they were having an affair. He wouldn't have got a pity date. He looks like he's got AIDS or a severe drug problem. His skin's pushed in him to the point you can see the indentures. Like people said, they've seen him, and he does look like there's something wrong with him. But he was making up stuff for other women to go out with him. That he was teaching me a lesson and needed other women to go out with him. That he didn't want me, and nobody thinks it's funny because when they found out I never met him, he made up that stuff for women to go out with him. And now it looks like he got something. Probably did get something off of one of those women. Disgusting, nasty. He told people he was a king, King Henry. Or tell him what his real name is. He can't be an attorney, you don't know the law. See, for things to be entered in a court, you have to go to the police. You have to go to the prosecutor's office. And then you have to go in front of a judge to make sure it's legal. And you have, the opposing party has a right to argue if it breaks a law. If it can even be entered. Because if there's a law that stops it, it gets thrown out. See, you can't just have a judge's friend. You can't have even one of your friends for a conflict of interest touch a case. See, this guy don't know the law. Where that lady sat outside my clients the other night. Now, this is funny. We found out the doctor from before wasn't even a doctor. It's just some guy Dave hired on his own. They said they think he's a drug dealer. So is Henry Moffey. Get the idea? He's no attorney. An attorney would know how illegal this is, and these are federal crimes. Seriously, the guy's delusional. You're listening to a madman. And I hate, this is where August of 23 on a Tuesday between noon and 1, Officer Mark told the lady it's documented verified she was framed before, and it was the drug cartel in her home before. We all seen them. So who was in my home? The drug cartel. And what is documented verified? I was framed. It's documented verified it was a medication error that made me sick before, and another woman was using my insurance. They already verified it for the FBI case. That's where the North Canton Jackson Police, April 28th, 24, Walmart on the Strip. That officer was listening to everything that day. He was assigned. And that they all know it was a drug cartel in my home before. Now, you're talking about a drug scam from the drug cartel. M13, now where they said, Will is selling the login. We found another way of making money off the case. He's selling the login for $25 a pop. M13 hacked and sold protected custody and live streams them on online so that people show up and harass other people in protected custody. Well, they hacked and sold mine in 18. Well, Henry Maffey, that Will guy, was the one selling it to him. He was selling our government technology to a foreign drug cartel. That's how not funny it is. And so what I hate when people's like, do you know what they found out about her before, where they drugged me and told me to say it with hypnotic drugs? I know I found out where I take a drink out of a drink in the room, went dizzy and black, or I woke up with injection marks, bruises, throwing up, heart racing, severe personal infection, almost passing out. They were drugging the hell out of me and drugging me up with hypnotic drugs that cause sleepwalking, and then tell me to say stuff, and they Photoshop shower scenes. I heard about their dirty little perverted scam. And were having me beat and raped under drugs that I'd wake up and not have any memory. I was supposed to be safe in my own home. Doors locked. And here, these predators, they said had an attorney, was taking a payoff for men to break in and rape her. Some of them had a good time raping her. You know how sick that is? Satanic. For them to say that to me. He was human trafficking me. So when people say they found, you know what we found out about her before I was framed? This is a drug scam. Do you want to know? What did the police say? What did they say about me? We all know this woman's innocent. Her whole family defended her. The other ones got tape stating they made everything up. They were games to pretend. And her family didn't know anything about it. Huh? These people admitted to drugging me and telling me to say it before, photoshopping everything and making everything up on me. So this is a made-up scam. So what'd you find out? You want to hear about me? Let's see. I'm a notary. I have my CCW. I was married for 33 years the first time. Had 3 sons and 10 grandchildren. I have banking loan experience. And a lot more other different sales. I could go into a lot more details of what I've done in my career. So, what do you want to know? I found out my ex-husband was cheating on me. My whole marriage was a scam. And he got messed up with a girl in the cartel. And him and his cult decided to try to kill me and then run a scam and be part of a cartel trying to steal from our government. And he was willing to let them torture me, men, rape me under drugs, being a smart ass, Photoshop stuff. Thinking our government's stupid. See, as a cult leader, hated the government. That they wouldn't know what a roofie is, basically. Drug me up and tell me to say stuff. See, that cult leader was low educated. He didn't know about HIPAA either. And that these are federal crimes, that they could never have a doctor with them. They could never have my medical records. None of my doctors could ever talk to them. They don't take people unaware. These are federal crimes by 10-year sentences each. No attorney can approach them. See, they don't know the law. They're either low educated, crackheads, or foreigners. Get the idea? They don't know the law. So, do you want to know what else about me? I have one traffic ticket from 1989. That's it. Like those FBI agents from the Velvet Office and the other investigators, we all know Karen never did anything wrong before. Karen was framed by the cartel. We all know she's innocent. These people are running a scam on me. They've told you that. They made fun of the FBI. June 7th, 23 made fun of FBI agent John. They even called him a coward. Even admitted to using hypnotic drugs that cause sleepwalking and no memory. August 4th, August 5th, 25, August 7th, 25, they have him taped saying that. Get the idea. November 18, 22, Eric, one of the drug dealers I talked about, made fun of everybody. Lighthouse made fun of FBI agent John, June 7th, 23, and then onslaught of drugs and told to say it, photoshopping and washing in the shower, admitting to framing me March 24, 22. And this whole thing is nothing but a scam. Then they find a full porn every minute. Do you know what they found out about her for? Where they drugged me and told me to say stuff I know. It's not true about me. It was a scam from my ex-husband, a drug cartel and as a cult, being smart asses, thinking you're all stupid and that you guys could fall for somebody roofing somebody, tell them to say something stupid and photoshopped washing in the shower in another room. December 1st, 25, Walmart 62, tape and audio. Investigator came in. Michelle showed up and told us that this whole thing is a scam to extort money from the government. Ex-husband was involved, and that the doctor from before was not one of hers. He works for them, and they had lied. She actually don't know who he is. That guy Pete that was in his office, running out his mouth about her. She don't even know who he is. Just some guy Dave hired on his own. And they admitted to using hypnotic drugs when they drugged her and told her to say it before, and they photoshopped washing in the shower in the other room to make her look weird with herself, and everything's photoshopped. They were yelling that in the streets of Akron in September of 23 and over the summer. You want to play? How stupid are you? Then Melissa's lies. It's just like the other lady showing up the other night. We found out that doctor from before wasn't even a doctor. It's just some guy Dave hired on his own. And they said they think he's a drug dealer. None of this is funny. And we told them not to say a word. And we found out people can't just say something about her. You have to have medical proof of an actual injury. Oh God, help these people, they're stupid. And that a hospital has to document it. You have to have pictures of injury and they have to verify it. Then they have to have physical proof the person did it. You can't just say something and steal from people, duh. These people are so stupid they make your head hurt. Don't say a word. I didn't think about you'd have to have all that. No, they thought they could just roofie somebody to be a smart ass. Say a doctor did it and they could steal from them. They're that dumb. And here was a drug dealer lying. It was on Google. Another guy impersonated an FBI agent trying to get somebody out of jail and they got him. These people impersonated FBI, judges, attorneys, doctors, Portage County sheriffs. It was drug cartel. People really need to check credentials. Don't take people for their word. of who they are. Agent John, remember when you told me to trust no man? Trust no one. Remember that? Took that one to heart. And then when these people make up lies. Now the law is, and it's coming down to this, the law is that police and FBI agents cannot tell a victim or informant they can't say anything. It's actually a federal crime. It's tampering with a witness. It's a freedom of speech First Amendment. If they try to silence a victim or informant, it is 20 years. If they tell on a victim calling for help, it's 20. If they tell people they can't help that victim, it's 20. If they try to take the informant's money from them or stop them from getting it, it's 20 to life. They can't even bully somebody and say, oh, okay. They can't even ask them to stay quiet. No, like the prosecutor's office said, no judge could sign it because it's illegal. It's actually a federal crime. They can't bully you into false statements. They can't bully you into anything. Can't make up their own rules. It's for getting them information. They either want you to get information or testify against someone. See, with me, where these people said we're going to destroy us so she can't testify against us, they never wanted me to testify. The deal was for information. For me to get information for them. Boy, did I get them a lot. Like they said, she's amazing. See, what they needed was that court order, the surveillance realm, where sheriff said, one of us have to document and verify everything for the case. They needed a police officer, a sheriff, or an FBI agent to document and verify everything every day for what people said around, who was involved. And like they said, the way the agent opened the case, that surveillance stands up in court without her. It's an attempt and a threat of lie case for an FBI informant with statements and a court order. And the sheriffs and the FBI were recording everything with a court order. They don't even need her. They needed that court order to be around me and to surveillance so my right of privacy could be broke. Because without that, even the FBI would go jail. That way they could tap my phone, my car, have the police and the FBI record everything, and then they could go after those people. And they already got them confessing under police surveillance. That's how stupid they are. Make your head hurt. See, that's where, she said something the FBI was about. FBI agent John already told the Apostolic Church of Barberton he knew I was being drug, beat, and raped, didn't care, and act like a crazy Carl person. On a recorded line, he already admitted they were all in his office and even knew they were trying to kill me. Mocking me, acting like a crazy Carl person. Made fun of me for the dirty doctor scam. Some guy named Pete running a scam on me, sound like a crazy nut. Bullied me, made me beg for my life, then listed me informant, and then threatened me if I told. He already admitted everybody knew. Then he don't even have the authority. First Amendment takes a judge in a jury trial to put a gag order on you. There's nothing else. They can't even ask you to stay quiet. No judge can sign it. It's for getting them information and risking your life to get them information, then they owe you. He stole a lot of money. See, even Grant's friend that's an FBI agent on state, he don't have the authority to ask anybody to stay quiet. It can't be in a court order. Criminal attorney said the same thing. Prosecutor's office, please. They want to know why they didn't arrest that agent the first day. Where the other police have said that he told all the police he was only acting that way and he was going to give me my money when the case was over. They got all those drug dealers and didn't pay her. And then they need to arrest him. It's either an act or he's a thief. And it can't be in a court order. No judge can sign it. And everybody ought to be furious if there is a federal agent stealing from the government, the department. He's stealing from the Department of Justice, the Federal Reserves. He's stealing and putting it in his pocket. He didn't give it to me. He stole it straight from them. And every month when my check comes in, he's putting it in his own pocket. See, that's where Grant's friend said if she really didn't get her money, the only one who could take it is that agent. He's probably been stealing a while. I like my money, Agent John. I got you. Practice on me. Judge Peters from Florida. Marshals used my case, got thousands, saved hundreds. The Michigan drug cartels in New York, California. Did we forget about Karen around the house? Karen's well. We're going to Akron. I don't even know what to say to her anymore. They got so many people off her case. We all know it's part of the nationwide human trafficking scam. My case was their way into the cartel. They wanted somebody inside, somebody they're abusing, running a con on, and everything's legally surveillance. My money, Agent John. And a medical card, new name for me, and new name and social for me and Carl. And I'd like a letter of thank you, and I'd like you to sign it. Or bypassed apologies. I need the money to help my kids. I almost died to save everyone, where the officer said, and we all know the only one that actually loved everyone was Karen. She was willing to die to save everyone. And Dave was running around threatening to kill everyone. And Karen was willing to die to save him. She was the only one that loved everyone. See, that's where people had even told people, investigators, when you look at her, you talk to her, the only thing she knows from before, she never had anybody in her home. She never seen anybody. She never talked to anybody. And that's all she knows. So when you talk to her and you look at her, she knows nothing of those people from before they had her so drugged up. She knows nothing. Get the idea? So while you're yelling crazy crap at me, they have yelled at you people for years. She has no memory of those people. They had her so drugged up, she has no memory of those people. So, why don't you think of serial rapists and drug dealers running a con on you and society being so stupid they're making fun of a rape victim? I was so drugged up and being human trafficked, and the human traffickers were running a scam on me. And you people fell for it. They got away with selling and killing a lot of people here. It was a foreign drug cartel fooling U.S. citizens, and shame on you. Shame on you. I'm going to upload this.